It's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Get that bag.
Good evening and welcome to Flippinar 344 that we've done of these. We've actually done more, but whatever. So, but 344 of these so far. We're here to, I say we, it's just me here right now. Here to talk about real estate investing with a strong emphasis on wholesaling real estate. We're on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, and Instagram. So if you'll do us a slight favor, we don't ask for much, share this. Follow if you're on YouTube. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Tap the little bell so you are alerted when we do go live on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitch. Just follow there. Again, share, like. We would appreciate it greatly. What else? Tonight's title. Is it smarter to rent to Dollar General than to people? Flippinar 344, number 344. Is it smarter to rent to Dollar General than to people? Basically to a business, right? And we'll get into that in a second. So if you'll, I'll try to manage this as best as possible. TikTok, I'll try to read out your questions here. And then on the platform, if you'll just let us know where you're located, it would help greatly. Where you're located. Some of the regulars, I guess you don't have to, but you would let other people know where you are too, because they may not know in the chat. And we'll start to answer your questions. Seem like we have Jammin' Always is here already. Dietrich Fleming. Who else? Global REI Delta One. Thank you for the comment. We put Jam in there. We got Deidre. We got Delta. Says squatters have made people scary. Well, that's nothing new. Squatters are nothing new, so it's just part of the business or whatever. So, but you have a point. It's nothing new. So, but as you pile in here, we got Charlotte and Los Angeles, California. What's going on there? I guess it's only 8, 9, approaching 7 p.m. there. Now y'all know this is not as smooth as normal when I'm here by myself. I'm not sure, I didn't hear from Adria where she was or whatever. But I might, let's I get some questions immediately. I might as well go ahead and get into the topic off the top, right? And so again, tonight's title, you see the thumbnail here. I have a image of Dollar General. I don't know why I'm struggling saying that. Dollar General. And so what do I mean by that? And I'm going to use ChatGPT to help me walk you guys through this, because it's going to get a lot of intelligent answers and I'll fill in the hole. I know what to ask to be able to get where we need to be. All right. So let me just set it up though. So most people, when they get into real estate investing, they normally start with houses. They may gravitate to something larger, but a lot of people get into houses. Most people don't jump right into commercial real estate, which Dollar General leasing to them is considered commercial real estate. A lot of people still, like when you see a store of that type, which is thousands of them all over the country, you probably just assume that Dollar General owns the building, the lot that it's sitting on, all of that. And in most cases, I don't know if they own any. They lease. I could be the owner and they would be leasing from me, right? And so what does that actually mean? So Dollar General is considered a Class A tenant, meaning that's top grade. You know, it's very likely you're going to get your money, even if the store doesn't exist anymore. We'll get into that in a minute. But and so the type of lease that they'll do is it's not like the normal lease that you'll do, where when you rent a house or an apartment from someone or a company or whatever, they still going to cover, in most cases, most of your maintenance. They're going to pay the property insurance property taxes on the property and the insurance on the property. Now, you may have your own separate rental insurance just to cover your items if something happens, such as a fire, but they're going to cover the insurance to cover, the entire building itself and probably any liabilities as far as if something happens on the property with one of the tenants due to some type of injury or something. All right, but with Dollar General, they're going to do one or two things. They're going to do what they call a double net or a triple net. A double net means, in most cases, and I guess it can be random. We'll get into that in a minute. I don't want to get too complicated, but in a nutshell, they're going to pay the taxes and the insurance on the property and most of the maintenance on the property. So that's why in that world it's called mailbox money, because you literally don't have to do anything. They handle everything and they're paying your property taxes and insurance. And if it's a triple net, they'll take care of any maintenance on the property that's needed also. So that's why it'll become very attractive to a lot of investors to move some money there. So, so just to get into it, how that actually works, we're going to use ChatGPT, and I'm just going to let it do its thing while I pose a question, and then you all can follow up after that, right? So let's go ahead and get into this. So let me share my screen. I'm just going to share chat. All right, so. Okay, chat. I'm here with my audience. I'm on a live stream, and the title of today's video, is it smarter to rent to Dollar General than regular people or to people? And so basically what I want to do is just compare the two and break it down. Obviously, everything has pros and cons, and I'll let them be their own judge of that. But just to start with Dollar General, they would normally do one or two types of leases. They'll do a double net. I guess they'll do a single net sometimes, but a double net or a triple net. Please explain the differences compared to when someone's trying to rent a house or an apartment.
Sure thing. So when you rent to a big tenant like Dollar General, they often use net leases. In a triple net lease, the tenant pays the base rent plus property taxes, insurance, and maintenance costs. A double net lease usually means the tenant covers rent, property taxes, and insurance, but the landlord might handle maintenance. This setup can give you more predictable income with fewer responsibilities. On the other hand, renting a house or an apartment to individuals usually involves a standard lease where the landlord covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. While you might have more control over the property, you also take on more responsibilities and potential headaches like repairs and tenant turnover. So one big advantage of renting to a commercial tenant like Dollar General is the passive, predictable income with fewer ongoing responsibilities. But residential rentals might offer more flexibility and possibly higher returns in some markets. Both have their pros and cons, so it really depends on your investment goals and risk tolerance.
Okay, so just to give an idea of the lease, the term on a lease, where most houses or apartments, people will do normally 6 months or 12 months. I guess you can do longer, but normally those are the normal terms. But explain how it normally works when you're leasing to a tenant like Dollar General as far as the term.
Got it. When you lease to a tenant like Dollar General, the lease terms are usually much longer than a typical residential lease. Instead of 6 or 12 months, commercial leases often run for 5, 10, or even 20 years. This long-term lease provides stability and predictable income for the landlord. These longer terms are beneficial because they reduce turnover and vacancy rates. Plus, big tenants like Dollar General often have renewal options built into the lease, which can extend the agreement even further. In contrast, residential leases are typically shorter, which means more frequent turnover and potentially more time and money spent on finding new tenants. So the long-term nature of commercial leases can be a major plus for investors looking for stable, long-term returns.
Okay. Put it in.
No problem.
Yeah.
If you need
Hold on. So if you put the every 5 years, sometimes maybe sooner than that, isn't there normally a kicker as far as rent increases or lease increases payment?
Exactly. Commercial leases with tenants like Dollar General often include rent escalations or kickers every few years. These increases can be tied to a fixed percentage or indexed to inflation, ensuring that the rental income keeps pace with market rates and the cost of living over time. This means that while you lock in a long-term tenant, your income can still grow over time, providing a hedge against inflation. It's a big plus compared to residential leases, where rent increases can be more challenging to implement and less predictable.
Okay, so let's just use some easy numbers here. Let's say a property was leasing with a NOI of $120,000. So that's roughly $10,000 a month, right? And we had a 10% kicker. First of all, let's put a value on that property. Let's say the market in that area, the cap rate was 6.5% with an NOI of $120,000. What would be the value of that property or that lease or whatever?
All right, to find the value of the property based on its net operating income and the cap rate, you divide the NOI by the cap rate. So with an NOI of $120,000 and a cap rate of 6.5%, the calculation would be value is NOI over cap rate. Value is $120,000 over 0.065. Value approximately $1,854,000. So the property would be valued at approximately $1.85 million based on that NOI and cap rate.
Okay, so let's just say you had a 10% kicker in there every 5 years. So that first 5 years, how much would the rent increase and how much would the value of the property increase?
All right, with a 10% increase in rent after the first 5 years, the NOI would go up by 10%. Starting from $120,000, a 10% increase would add $12,000, making the new NOI $132,000 per year. With the same 6.5% cap rate, the new property value would be value is new NOI over cap rate. Value is $132,000 over 0.065. Value approximately $2,037,000. So the rent would increase to about $11,000 per month, and the property value would jump to roughly $2.03 million after that 10% kicker.
Okay. Now I know as the years on the lease come closer to the ending term of the lease, the cap rate generally may go up a little. Normally, it's probably after the 10-year mark, I'm assuming. Normally, if you got 10 years left, it's still considered a pretty attractive investment. Correct?
Exactly. If the remaining lease term is long, like 10 years or more, it's typically seen as a stable and attractive investment, so the cap rate stays lower, which means a higher property value. As the lease term gets shorter and approaches its end, the investment is seen as riskier because there's less guaranteed income ahead. This usually pushes the cap rate up, which can lower the property's value unless the lease is renewed or a new tenant is lined up. So the closer you get to the end of the lease term without renewal, the more the cap rate can edge upward, impacting the property's valuation.
Okay, so I guess it's somewhat of a trade-off over that time frame. The rent has went up also at the same time. But let's just assume, because it does happen. You know, obviously we're using Dollar General as a reference company. They have thousands of locations, but sometimes they close. All right. So let's just say they've been there. They had a 20-year initial lease, and after year eight, they closed. What happens to that lease, that other 12 years?
Great question. If Dollar General closes the store before the lease term is up, they're still on the hook for the rent, unless there's a clause that allows them to terminate early or sublease to another tenant. In most cases, they'd either continue paying the rent for the remaining 12 years or find a replacement tenant, depending on the terms of the lease. Often, these leases have strong guarantees, so even if the store closes, the parent company is still responsible for the rent payments, which provides a safety net for the property owner. This makes the investment more secure, even if the tenant stops operating at that location. But if they do have an early termination option, the landlord would need to find a new tenant, which could impact the property's income and value until a new lease is in place.
All right. Just assuming in the term used to describe that, if the property is vacant now, but they're still paying rent, what's the term used?
That scenario is commonly referred to as a dark store. In other words, the store is closed or dark, but the tenant is still fulfilling their lease obligations by continuing to pay rent. This situation can still provide the landlord with stable income, but it might affect the property's appeal to future investors or tenants, since having an operating tenant is usually more desirable.
Okay. So that's probably going to be your biggest con, is that obviously if they move out or whatever, and then now you have to find a good tenant. So I guess that's why it's really important, if you're going to target those, that it's a good location and may have a lot of different uses, may not even be in retail. It may be a tire store or anything, but give some suggestions on what other types of businesses could go there depending on the location.
Absolutely. If a space like a former Dollar General goes dark, it can often be repurposed for a variety of uses depending on the location and layout. Some common alternatives include fitness centers or gyms. The open floor plan and ample parking make it suitable for a gym or fitness studio. Medical or dental clinics, the space can be converted into a healthcare facility, especially if there's a need in the community. Restaurants or cafes, with some remodeling, it could become a dine-in restaurant or a fast casual eatery. Auto parts or tire stores, the layout and parking can work well for an auto parts retailer or service center. Specialty retail, it could house a specialty store like a pet supply shop, a furniture outlet, or a local hardware store. Office space or co-working hub, the building can be repurposed into office suites or a co-working space for local businesses and remote workers. Community centers or event venues, it can serve as a community center, event space, or even a church if zoning permits. The key is to choose a location with versatile potential and strong community demand, so you have plenty of options if the original tenant leaves.
All right. If someone wanted to invest in one of those, what should be their expectations on what it would cost? Let's just say it was I'm gonna give you two different scenarios. Like one here locally that I looked at, I found on Crexy. They only have 2.37 years left, and I think the cap rate is around 8%. The NOI is 102,000. I think the price was like 1.28 or something like that. You know, my math might be off there on a little bit, but in that situation with 2.37 years left on the lease, what now it appears to me it's a great location, you know, and I used a tool, it's called Alpha Maps, and it shows me, I was comparing it to some of the other Dollar Generals as far as the traffic that goes there. I think about 500 people per day, a little over whatever that is in math per month or whatever. It seems to be a decent location, but I'm not the one making the decision. But I like to, like in that situation, what would it probably take to purchase that? As far as if a lender were going to get involved, what would they probably want on something like that?
In that scenario, with about 2.37 years left on the lease and a cap rate around 8%, a lender would likely scrutinize the deal closely. Here's what they'd typically consider. 1. Down payment. Lenders might require a larger down payment, often around 30 to 40%, to mitigate the risk of the short remaining lease term. So on a $1.28 million property, you might need around $384,000 to $512,000 down. Interest rates and terms. The interest rate might be slightly higher due to the perceived risk, and the loan term could be shorter to align with the remaining lease period unless you have a solid plan or a letter of intent from a new tenant. Tenant quality and location. Since you mentioned it's a great location with strong traffic and a proven tenant like Dollar General, these factors will work in your favor. Still, lenders will want to see your plan for re-tenanting or extending the lease. Exit strategy. Lenders will want to know your strategy if Dollar General doesn't renew. This could mean having a list of potential replacement tenants or a plan to repurpose the space quickly. Overall, the combination of a solid location and a strong existing tenant is positive, but the short lease term means you'll need a solid plan and possibly more upfront capital to secure financing and make the deal attractive.
What if you, even though they were asking almost 1.3, what if you could get it for maybe 900,000?
If you could negotiate the price down to around 900,000, that would significantly improve the deal. Here's how that could play out. 1. Improved cap rate. With the NOI at $102,000, buying it at $900,000 would bump your cap rate up to about 11.3%, which is a great return. Lower risk, a lower purchase price reduces your financial exposure and increases your cushion if the tenant leaves. It also means a smaller loan and potentially better cash flow. 2. Easier financing. Lenders would likely view this more favorably since the lower price reduces their risk. You might get better loan terms or a lower interest rate. 4. Value add potential. With the lower acquisition cost, you have more flexibility to invest in improvements or offer concessions to a new tenant, making it easier to re-tenant the space if necessary. Overall, securing it for $900,000 would give you a much stronger position, both in terms of cash flow and long-term investment potential.
If someone had, we'll just say 350 as a down payment towards a building like that, or 350 to purchase a house or duplex as a rental, what should be considered as far as choosing one over the other?
When deciding between using that $350,000 as a down payment for a commercial property like the Dollar General or buying a house or duplex as a rental, here are some key considerations. 1. Cash flow. The commercial property might offer higher cash flow, especially if you got it at a lower price. However, it comes with the risk of vacancy if the tenant leaves. 2. Risk and stability. A residential property like a house or duplex might provide more stability with multiple units and a steady rental market. Even if one tenant leaves, you still have others providing income. 3. Management and effort. Residential properties often require more hands-on management, dealing with multiple tenants and maintenance issues. A single-tenant commercial property might be easier to manage if the tenant is stable. 4. Financing. Financing a residential property might be simpler and come with more favorable terms compared to a commercial property, especially if the commercial property has a shorter lease term remaining. 5. Appreciation and equity. Depending on the market, residential properties might appreciate differently than commercial properties. Commercial properties' values are more closely tied to the lease terms and the tenant's strength, while residential properties might rely more on the local housing market. 6. Exit strategy. Think about your long-term goals. Residential properties might be easier to sell or refinance, while a commercial property's value can depend heavily on the tenant situation. Ultimately, it comes down to your risk tolerance, investment goals, and how hands-on you want to be. Commercial properties can offer higher returns but come with higher risks, while residential properties might offer more stability and easier management.
Thank you very much for your participation. If you could put all of that into a text where I can copy it so I can summarize later or whatever, make sure that everything we talked about is easy accessible. Please.
Of course, I'll put together a concise summary of everything we discussed so you can easily refer back to it. Here you go. Commercial property versus residential rental
Oh,
considerations.
no, you don't have to read it all. Just let me know that it's ready to copy if I want.
Got it. The summary is ready for you to copy whenever you need it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. So we got AP in here. How's it going?
It's going.
So if you have any questions about tonight's topic, please post them there. I'm glad to take a look.
Hey y'all. Thank you for being here. They said nice. Hey Ricky. Hey Jamin. Hey Anita. Let me see here. Charlotte, Global REI, Deidre. Thank you for being here. PHIA, Karen, Desiree. All right. So I'm gonna start. We're able to take advantage in here. Jippit. Give a rundown on smarter to rent to Dollar General than to people. Giving the pros and cons of each scenario. Those resources that Ty just displayed, or what did I say that you just?
I'm just trying to provide some education.
Yeah, it was like the resource that he just used is available to any of you if you choose to download Jibbit, the free, but you get more with the paid.
Yeah. She's saying ChatGPT, guys. I didn't know nobody
They
know what Jibbit is.
They do know what Jibbit is. I've been saying it enough. They already know.
Everybody ain't here.
They all know because I saw the names of who was in there. Didn't you? Okay, so one of the questions was, I think you answered it, was what if they filed bankruptcy?
Who? Talking about Dollar General?
The tenant.
That's Dollar General.
Yeah, Dollar General.
That means, the whole company about to, if they file bankruptcy, that don't mean they not going to close their doors.
Like a chapter 13.
Yeah, that means they're going to close their doors or whatever on certain locations and not pay or whatever, just normally just reorganizing in that situation. So, but that's no different if your tenant, if John Doe files bankruptcy.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So
I'll put it like this. I don't know what Dollar General's market cap in. I'm assuming it's several billion. I would be more trusted that they're gonna pay me than Ronnie Williams.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Here we go. Let's see here. Jamin had a question about a vacant bank. So give me one moment. All right, there we go. So I ran across a vacant former bank. It's been vacant for 2+ years. A former bank is pretty specific who buy that type of building. So it gave us scenarios on who could use the Dollar General. What about a bank?
Man, it's just going to depend. As its current form, normally it has to go back with some type of office type setting. You'll see sometimes. I've seen, like what you call them, cell phone companies outfit those sometimes. You can get away with, I guess, some retail, some of the check cashing places will do those or whatever.
Because they have the vaults and all that kind of stuff.
Because that sort of limits you a lot, but it normally don't take up that much space. So it just depends. It just depends.
Okay. We have a Steinmart that closed several. Obviously, Steinmart's went out of business years ago, probably almost 10.
Is it in a plaza or is it?
It's in a plaza in O'Reilly Auto Parts. They're working on it now, but it's crazy.
Did they renovate the actual building? They tore the whole thing down.
Well, it's in a plaza, so they're renovating the building.
Okay.
So they gutted it, but it's in between. It's crazy because it's going to be in between Michael's, Cato's, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Pet Supplies Plus. They don't even go in the shopping center. There's a Dollar General, a TJ Maxx, a Home Goods, and a Ross with an auto store in the middle of it. But I guess it's just another scenario. You build a suit. Okay, so this is not in Denver, but a small area called Lakeside, Colorado. Denver is a lot like Atlanta. Around the corner is College Park, but ATL is still close. So I think that was in regards to talking about the bank, right? All right. And that's also, you got to think about the drive-through lanes.
Yeah.
The bank, how do you use that space?
Well, I've seen people don't use it. You know, they're just there.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I think there's a bank converted in my city. So there's a bank here in St. Louis that was repurposed as a dispensary. Hey, it's secure. Roll it through the drive-through. Slide it out to you. Or something like that makes sense, because I was thinking of pharmacy. What other place do you drive through and get your items through the window? A pharmacy. Be secure.
Yeah. That's a tough business right now. I saw a thing on how CVS and Walgreens are really struggling right now because Walmart and places like that sell drugs too, and grocery stores sell them. They sort of struggling.
Well, all the things that you would think you need to go to a drugstore for, like I'm just saying, like before, I got to go get some Band-Aids and some alcohol. You can get that at a regular grocery store. You know, you can get Ace bandages. There's nothing with these super centers other than getting your prescription. Even the super centers have pharmacies. CVS is in Target. So why do you need a brick and mortar? So I don't know. It's the one-stop shops. Yeah, that is a good one, Edward. Let's see here. What other pointers did you get from listening to ChatGPT? Give a rundown on smarter to rent to businesses versus people. I'm curious to know, with you all that are in the chat, which route would you go? Money being aside, not a factor. Would you build a portfolio of rental homes, or would you franchise out and get a business?
You don't call it franchise.
You can't call it franchise. What do you call it? Can you personally own a Dollar General?
No,
it's a corporation.
No, that's a corporation. You just leasing the space to them.
You lease the space to them. Okay, got you. So I couldn't be a manager like you would restaurants, franchise out, stuff like that.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Gotcha. Understood. What made you choose that topic?
Just looking at some stuff. I thought it would be interesting to share with you guys. You know. Just noticed one locally here. Not that it has to be local, but I just know exactly where it is, and just saw how many years were left on it. I thought that was amazing because it seemed like it's a pretty visited store just because of where it is, and it's in the hood, but you know, still whatever, people still got to buy stuff, and so that doesn't mean they're going to close. They may be doing it just to put pressure on the owner not to go up on the rent. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it'll be interesting to see. And then I was thinking about making an offer on it, and I got some. But anyway, just long story short, I just take it.
Well, I'm just thinking like, so you know, Rite Aid's closed maybe 2, 3, 4, whatever years ago.
Well, technically, I think CVS bought them.
Well, that's fine.
And
they closed them down because they acquired them.
Yeah.
Well, the 3 in Tuscaloosa, Dollar Trees are in there.
Yeah, that's a normal thing. Like there's one on First Avenue. There's a Walgreens on First Avenue North going toward Roebuck on through East Lake Road. It's in East Lake. And they turned that into a Dollar General or Super Dollar General, whatever.
Ooh, the Dollar General groceries.
The Dollar General market.
The market. Yeah, DG market. DG market.
Is that what? Yeah, that's what it is. One of them.
Or either like the Family Dollar Dollar Tree collabs. All right. So, okay, the rich get richer. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. His name is Richard. So the rich get richer. So Flipman, fan for years. You taught me how to wholesale 6 years ago, and now I make 1.2 milli in real estate. Okay.
He said that's what he's made that, or that's what he's making every year?
That's what he's made.
Okay, he's made that. Okay. Right.
Hey, you sound like you got a story to tell. The rich get richer. Love to have firsthand accounts of success in this market. So if you're ever willing to share your story, be sure to reach out. Anita Nisbet says, I switched to Walmart because CVS is always out of certain meds. Yeah, that too. Yeah, so there's, I see that. Yeah, Edward, I read that already. Okay, so no one really answered that question in there. What do you think? Dietrich, welcome. I know I spoke to you earlier. I'm not particularly sure I've seen that name, so I just want to make sure I reach out and say thank you for being here. DG Market. You've never heard of that? Yeah, they're the really nice ones. Really nice.
Yeah.
I think they came about probably 3 years ago or so.
Something like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess then the thing is, so if you had this building to lease, how would you determine
What?
who to lease it to?
What do you mean? You talking about if you didn't have a tenant?
Yeah, like DG, but why wouldn't I choose Home Goods? So who do I pick?
Oh, I don't know. It's I was talking about this too. It's very expensive. Like, oh my god. It's called Alpha Map. You know what? I had signed up for a free trial.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just show it to you. Let's see if I can pull it up.
So what does it do?
I'll just have it's all hard to explain. I'll show it to you.
Okay.
Let's see if it'll let me log in. I think I had 24 hours. All right, I'm in.
Okay.
All right, so
Share with us.
all right. Okay, so I'll just put a random Dollar General in, just using that as an example. If I can spell dollar. All right, so it's just gonna pull just possible locations all over the place, right?
Right.
Um,
These are existing.
Yeah, these are existing. This
Okay.
is one over in Pleasant Grove, right? And so if I click on it, right, and over here, one of the things you look at is foot traffic. Okay, so this is from 2019 until now, until January. So I'm just going to do the last 3 months of it, right? No data on that. So let's do the last 6 months, see if it pulls anything. Okay. So average monthly visitors, I guess how they track that? To know how many people go in that store.
Cell phones.
There you go. Okay. All right. You knew that? How you knew that?
I think we talked about it before, but that's the only way you can really.
Yeah, they track for cell phone because everybody has one.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Mm-hmm. You know, I think we talked about it the last time when stores were trying to, when you walked into the mall, you start getting alerts like, hey, this store has a sale. Hey, this has a sale. And it was just like, oh, that's a little bit overwhelming. And because it just made you feel, dang, like, how you know I was in the mall in Hollister's? I was even going there. So they dialed it back. It seemed like a good idea, but it seemed a little.
So this particular store is getting like 297 visits per day. And like I said, average about 7,000 a month per week. They're getting around 2,000 visits, and like I say, per monthly, they're getting around 8,400. Now, you was asking me who can go there. So they have this tenant finder tool here, right? And it basically just I sort of understand how to read. It's been a minute since I demoed with the lady or whatever, but it'll give you ideas of other types of businesses that can go there. Obviously, Fred's, you don't see a lot of those.
Do they even exist?
They still exist. Not a lot of them though. Well, I'll tell you how many locations. They got 7, 8 locations.
Oh, that's crazy. And they all in one state.
They tell you how many locations they got. So I tell you, let me see here. So Alabama Credit Union, they got 37 of those. Okay. I'm trying to see stuff we'll not recognize. Food Giant of Alabama, they got 6 of those. Papa's Pizza to Go, huh?
A lot of banks.
Yeah, a lot of financial institutions. Yeah. Let me see. Lucky Star Casino. I don't know about that, but drinking places, alcoholic. Okay, interesting. Busy Bee. What is that?
A gas station with convenience store?
Yeah, that's what they say, don't it? Okay. Ultimate Wash. I guess that's a car wash. It's only 7 of those.
They're gonna pay 498.
Oh, the pig got 498 locations. So
is this just what is this, like local or like is this nationwide?
That's nationwide. See, it's a U.S.
Okay,
location.
got you.
and then it show you the nearest one to it, right?
Mhm.
Oh, there's already a pig that's close by, so
Gotcha.
that helps you know, hey, it's nothing in our
Super.
area like that. We need to
Mhm.
reach out to them and see if they would be interested in building. Because basically, what they're saying, this type of business, this location, should fit
Oh, okay.
this particular property.
Area. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So Bell Stores is 83 of those. Not one of those really
It's
close.
convenience store.
China Walk. Where's one of those? They say it's only 10 miles away. Interesting. Let's see. Food Land. Didn't we used to have those?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How many? Does it say?
There's 47 of those. Like I said, there's a lot of financial institution banks. Just Smoke.
Of course, smoke shops.
Yeah. Where's one of those that said 150? Them? It must be in Atlanta somewhere. 4 of them. Let's see here.
I don't know.
There's a lot of businesses out there, ain't it?
Yeah.
Somebody's making some money.
Oh, what's that with the 190 Ingles? Oh, Ingles Market grocery store.
Yeah. So the closest one is in 85. I wonder where that is. 85 miles. Say that's in Huntsville somewhere or something. Let's see here. I'm trying to see stuff I recognize. A lot of banks.
Yeah.
I don't see any tire companies on here. That's interesting. I didn't
You're
notice
right.
them.
Unless it's something tied into one of the gas stations or something.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen any gyms either. I see that
Nah.
fitness made me think about it.
Where they probably going by that demographics and saying, you know what?
Yeah. Ain't nobody working out.
Yeah. Anyway, I think you get the idea. So that's what the tools do. But so and it's supposed to make it. I think because I'm in the demo portion of it. Let me see if I click on this. Does it provide contact info or what? It don't do anything. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it just gives info to the locations or this individual's info. I know it's a way you're supposed to be able to easily reach out to people that can make decisions on this stuff. I think that's part of their tool or whatever. So anyway, I think you get the point.
Yeah.
It's 73,000 results, so I guess I could have filtered out a little more or whatever, but there you go. So I just wanted to show you.
And what was this tool called again?
Called Alpha Map.
Alpha Map.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. The closest Ingles supermarket to Hoover is the one located in Birmingham, Alabama, 35244.
What's the address?
Freak if I know. I just asked what it was. It's the only one in Alabama.
Okay.
Okay, let's see here. So I'm super late to this, but this is good stuff. What's the name of the app? So we just went over that. Also, as a CRE agent responding to the title of this bid, it always, in my opinion, makes better sense to lease to corporations than individuals. Of course, that's not ironclad, but generally speaking. So I will say, listening to ChatGPT break down the ins and outs of renting and cash flow and, I guess likelihood of success, it seemed as if it leaned more towards the corporations, depending on what your end game was. If you needed it for immediate cash flow, that would be your rentals.
Like I say, what your risk tolerance is.
Yeah, that's it. What your risk tolerance is. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Can you get the same info from ChatGPT that you get from Alpha Map?
No. Like that cell phone data, being able to tell how many people go to a location. No.
Nah, I don't think so.
We ain't there yet.
Okay, so what tool are you using for the tenants? Okay, that's still Alpha Map. I think that answers. So yeah, it's Alpha Map. This is what we were using. Let's see here. It says it's one in Birmingham.
What? English?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking at that.
Okay. Okay. So there's a property on Zillow. Okay. So the question is about, now we're going to the KISS method. I'm going to ask about a particular property if you can pull that up. You're welcome, Grind Extraordinaire. And Charlotte P, I have you too. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. So the address that we want to see if it's kissable is 2818 South 10th Street. I can't do a smack. And it's Abilene, Texas. Abilene.
Yeah, they pronounce it Abilene.
It says what?
They pronounce it Abilene.
Abilene? What did I say?
Abilene.
Okay, you know what? Abilene. Mm-hmm.
All right, so well, simple. That's what the KISS generator will do is one photo. I like that. It does have more views than I normally would like.
Mm-hmm.
It says owner agents really don't like that either, but I guess the one photo, the reason they have that is because there is a tenant. But your offer would be $34,000.
34G, so it is kissable. It is kissable.
Again, I don't like how many views it's getting. I don't like that.
So how long had it been up there?
Huh?
How long?
Been on the market 20. Well, let's look at it. Let's look at the history. Yeah, it's only been on the market 26 days, I think. Yeah.
Oh, not even full month.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's a true 26 days.
So it's getting traction.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. While you're in there, if you could look at property on Bellflower Boulevard in Bellflower, California, I think this is a commercial space. So I think the question was like, would this be a commercial space that you would go after? So it's 16712 Bellflower Boulevard, number 14.
Bellflower Boulevard 14.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of the city?
Bellflower.
Oh, it's Bellflower too.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. I was trying to see if it was listed anywhere, but I don't see a photo of it. Maybe that 14 is throwing a Google off.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. So I don't know where the property is on here. Google wouldn't pull it up like that. So let's see. What did so it's listed on Zillow? That's interesting. It's just a lot. Okay, so I guess it must be this lot right here. No, I wouldn't be anything I would probably target because it's just it's a listed lot. It would. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Oh, it's a listed lot. So it wouldn't be anything that I would target. I wouldn't even know how to price that if it's a commercial lot. Let me see what it says. Yeah, prime commercial. I don't even know how to price. I don't have the tools to price those currently. So, and then it's listed too on top of that. Been listed how long? 144 days. Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to price that.
Thank you. Grind Extraordinaire mentioned retail lease track is good to locate tenants. Ever heard of that?
Yeah, I'm aware of it.
Okay.
Cool. I don't know if it's
That's good.
Yeah, I don't know if it does what that tool does. It goes beyond tenants, as you can see.
Yeah.
You know, because what you'll do is when you reach out, ideally you'll want to have your case built on why this location may be attractive for them through demographics, traffic count, foot count, you know, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why I say it has an option on there to create a report that will allow you to have that ready to present to a potential tenant, whoever makes that decision for the particular company.
Understood. You're welcome, Charlotte. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, let's see here. Okay, thank you. I've gotten through all of those. You okay?
Yeah.
All right. So let's see here. I appreciate you answering that. And even more so, I always appreciate your honesty. Like, hey, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. That's easy to say.
Yeah, it is.
That's easy to say when I know something. When I know something, it's going to be very short.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. So since we have the crew here, I don't have any. I've gone through the questions, so this is where y'all get the randomness. Split the flip.
Mm-hmm.
How's the dive into the county divisions and the subdivides going?
Oh, it's still building.
It is what it is.
It's a grind. That's a grind. That man. Am I building that list?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a grind.
Yeah.
That's a grind.
Okay.
But that's a good thing though, because that means it's hard for anybody.
It's hard to find. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Hey, Karen. Actually, we talked about that last week. I think that was the topic of last week's show. So great question there. We can make sure we revisit that. So the question is, some realtors are asking for POF. When do we need this, before or after the offer price is accepted? And we can also offer you a suggestion on where to get that from. Yeah,
some people won't even ask for it at all. Some agents won't even ask for it at all, but you can easily, access proof of funds by texting the letters POF to 205-964-5243.
Okay. But if they did ask for it, they're going to ask for it before?
It just don't vary. Most agents ask for it. I'll say 60% agents. I don't know what the number is, but it's too simple to get. So,
Okay. So we have Ding on the screen. Text Ding to 205-964-5243 to be alerted when Ty and the crew goes live, which will be next time tomorrow. Should be tomorrow. All right. And don't forget to text the word SHIP, SHIP, to join the Flipmen's Partnership Network. You will not regret it. It is a monthly subscription service, but text SHIP, SHIP, to join others just like yourself who are learning and flourishing in the wholesale and creative investment real estate game. Yes. So Karen's follow-up was, what if we have not agreed on the price?
As far as what?
So the question was, do you provide POF before or after the offer price is accepted? And so
no. They're a lot of times agents gonna want that even before they even consider
talking to
you or letting the seller know about it. So since it's so easy to get, just go ahead and send it if they ask for it.
Okay. Copy. Thank you. Karen, hopefully that answered your question. As always, you can post it in there and I will ask your follow-up if you have any for that. Okay. Well, you're welcome. Let's see here. I don't know why it's so quiet. Holiday, graduations, Mother's Day.
Yeah.
A lot of different things. Yeah. It's that time. It's that time of year. May, closing it out. Let's see. All right. So, ChatGPT. So, Jamin, I guess you were the one that was saying that you were going to begin using ChatGPT more as a resource for you. Have you downloaded that app, and what do you think about it so far? Who's using AI to step up their game? Would be a good question. I'm just curious to know.
Do you ever put the same prompt into Gemini, Chat, Claude,
Sora, Doll,
Meta?
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason is because I combine them together, especially when I'm doing something I'm helping Mickey with. So I have the three of them write it, and then I copy and paste all three of them and say combine and highlight the key points and put it together, and you get something that's truly unique. Yeah, girl, turn it in. She can get anything less than A. She lying. So, yeah, we did a 10-page paper on corporate law the other day. Yeah, about a good 30 minutes. But yeah, I've been using more and more, but I am. It's almost overwhelming how much stuff is out there, because you know when you go into Chat GPT and it says explore GPTs, which are the ones that individuals have made when you go into there, right?
I never do
And
that, but go ahead.
huh? You never?
I don't know.
I go in there because if you are doing something, what I've learned, if I'm doing something, I'll ask it what other GPTs, if it says it can't do something, I say what GPTs can. And it'll give me this long list of which ones to try.
I've never done that before. Because that come from the class.
No, it didn't.
Okay.
But I don't care what you say. I'm good on my prompts. Like I am, and you're letting it build your prompts.
I was asking.
And that's the biggest thing.
That would be something I never would have thought of.
No, but now I have like a list of like 25 different GPTs, and now it's almost overwhelming because it's like, oh, I didn't mean to put it in that one. I should put it in this one. But then there's also things that are frustrating because like you can ask chat. Can't email you, but there is one that Otter AI does the better one of transcribing and dictating. Then Claude is for combining and data and statistics, and then
Claude
you have
is good at that. It's
systems.
yeah.
Yes, and automation. Well, if you want PowerPoints and PDFs, if you want a document sent out, so you just got to know which one to use. And I got my little cheat sheets, and I'm just like, it's too much. It needs to just be one. And then you have your ones that you use for art and creative, that kind of stuff. So it's just nothing's in there. Yeah. So okay. So jamming, you say I actually use Chat G versus search engines, streamlines all the digging. I agree. Karen, I have to play with the prompts. Yeah. That's it. The biggest thing that is the prompts. Is trying to get it down in one or two and being done. Okay, so you did use the POF site to get my POF today. That's good. Let's see here. So, okay, Jamin says, I had an agent write back with all of these demands. I'm tempted to call him and ask, have you seen the house you're selling? It's one of those shells, but with good bones. I kissed it and it's listed for $69K. Okay, but you should. Why not email back and ask them that? I don't know what who they think they fooling. I love the Chat G and I haven't downloaded it, just use it online. Well, that's good. I think if you use your PC, that's good. But if you're on the go and you use on your mobile, that mobile app is what's going to work. Okay, so Karen wants to know, Ty, which AI should I use to get ideas to post on social media? What you gonna say?
Well, I think all of them will probably do what you needed to do. I use ChatGPT a lot because it was the first one, and I'm more. I like its interface. It's UI, as they call it, user interface. Just how it works, basically. Just how it looks and works. But like for what you're talking about, all of them will be good at that. Gemini, which is Google version of it. Meta, which is Facebook's version of it. Then you got Grok, that's X/Twitter's version of it. You got Claude, that's through a company called Anthropic or whatever. So, am I missing one? Oh, you got DeepSeek, that's a China-based deal.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Did you ever look at anything else with the Menses?
I never did apply for the thing.
But for you, hey, Day, hey, Deonica. She says, hey, what's up? So, Karen, for what I tried to do, what I used for something similar, and it was one of my projects in the class, was to use GPT for the ideas, but Claude is what you're going to want to use for automation. It's going to set up a table that it can give to you, and it can give you like 7 days of social media posts. If you want to do 3 times a day, it's going to give you the direct links, and then it's going to give you a link for the image, and then you can use Sora. So I did something similar for like daily posts to Instagram. So GPT was the ideas, Claude was the automation that set it up week by week of what needed to be posted. It was quotes, so the quote goes along with it, and then it pulled the image using Sora. So all 3 of those work good to do an automated listing post. And then I used another service that Ty mentioned. Can I mention it? I can't.
What?
I can.
Yeah,
the Replit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that you can do it in GPTs. There's some GPTs that code web pages for you. But the one he put me on is Replit. And if you have like your domain name, GoDaddy or whatever, it's like in your hosting, you go there and it creates your web page for you and keeps it updated. Now you got to pay for that. Like you're going to pay for like uploads and like streaming, like the bandwidth or something like that.
Yeah,
that it does.
Yeah, it can be depending on how many, it's like, see the thing with Replit, now, unless you're doing a simple web page, it'll get that right. You're doing anything more complicated than that.
No, this is just a single, like the front page, the landing page.
It'll kill that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you give it an example of what you want, it'll kill that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But anything more complex, you're going to have to know something to get it to the finish line.
Yeah.
Whatever, so.
Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy out there. You can't get stuck on one because you will.
It's changing daily.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, and what did it tell me? Because I was trying to do a video, and I know that Wolf Dude did all those. I can't get it to do any of those, but Flicky was good for taking still images and putting it together into a GIF. Mm-hmm. So it was Flicky, and it was another AI. But then it's just like you got all those logins, and you can't pay all of them $20 a month, so you have to. GPT is just it for me. GPT and use the free of all the other.
To pay Gemini 20. Now that notebook LM, that's some powerful stuff there. It's really too much information for me. Google has notebook LM, and it'll just I can't even explain it.
What does it compare to?
It was sort of be compared to Manus.
Oh, but it's a paid subscription.
No, it's pretty much most of it's free.
Oh,
it'll like you talking about doing that paper and stuff.
Yeah,
it would kill that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The only reason I did 3 is because it's just something in my head just makes sense.
No, you would have took all 3 of them. It'll just took all of them and just
gotcha. Yeah. Okay, it's called Notebook LM.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that tonight. But what I will say, if you're not paying, you're gonna have line limits. You're gonna have text limits. You're gonna have the standard voices. Because even I've been reaching the limit with my voice on GPT. It reverts back to standard voice. It says I've been talking to it too long, and I was like, dang. But I do use it all day. Like when I'm driving, I talk to it, and it takes my notes, and it gives it to me, and then I shoot it to myself. So yeah. Okay. I'm new to. Oh, hey, Gwendolyn. Say hey to Gwendolyn.
Hello there, Gwendolyn.
Hello, Gwendolyn. Hello, I'm new to your channel. Do you help newbies from start to finish?
Yeah, we do. That's the, like I say, the, we're talking free here. So the channel is, we've been putting out content since 2008. As you can see, the title of this particular, we call it a Flippinar. It's where webinar and a seminar had a baby and produced a Flippinar. And it's we're on 344, but that's just for Thursday nights. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we do the same thing during the day at 12:30 p.m. But you can go to my channel. I have a playlist. If you text the letters VIP, that'll get you going in the right direction. It's some hand selected videos I put together to try to help you understand the process. You also want to text KISS, K-I-S-S, not being fresh, but K-I-S-S to 205-964-5243. And that'll get you some free training that'll get you like ready to start making offers tomorrow if you wanted to. So it's all here, everything you need, Gwendolyn. You just have to just be willing just to put the work in and have the patience to educate yourself.
Okay. All right. There you go, Gwendolyn. Glad to have you here and look forward to seeing you again, possibly even tomorrow. Ricky, I said so many. Which one were you talking about? What does it do? And then I can try to remember what it was. And Jimmy says your mic sounds as if it's rubbing against something. It could be. It's probably not him. It's probably me because I'm shaking.
They've been saying that during the daytime. I don't know what's going on with that.
You got a short?
I don't know. That might be the situation. La 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 la. I'm not listening to Jeffrey. What does that sound like? Jeffrey.
Okay, never mind. I don't know. I'm supposed to know, huh?
It's a movie reference.
It's a movie reference.
I bet I ain't even gonna say la 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 la. I am not listening to Jeffrey. I bet somebody know what it is.
Okay, who knows what it is? Am I supposed to know what it is? You've been using Trading Places all week. I know that ain't what it is. Is it?
No. Actually, though, you're in the right realm, though. You're in the right realm.
Oh my goodness.
You're in the right realm.
Okay. So it's Eddie. It's Eddie something.
It is Eddie Murphy quote. But you're just gonna be guessing. You ain't gonna know. But go ahead, guess.
Norbit.
No. I'm gonna give you 3.
You gonna give me 3? Eddie Murphy. 48 hours. Okay. I'm just gonna say it's not it. What's the Nutty Professor? No. Okay.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Axel F.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, you remember now?
Yes. That's not fair.
Yeah.
I needed 5 guesses.
Yeah. He whenever he when it first come on, and, he was trying to go undercover and bust the people. He hanging off the truck. If you ever watched that, me and my cousin watched that probably 50 times. Like
all of them?
But not that Beverly Hills Cop. Till we tore the tape up. We tore the VHS up.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was cussing and stuff. So he's 14 years old. We got to watch it.
Okay. Yes, jamming la 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 Jeffrey. Yeah, You ain't helped me out though. Okay, Ricky. So you said the one that you had to pay for, or Replit. Is that what the Replit was? The landing page, the website builder, like coding. Then we were talking about Chat GPT. There's a paid version, which is Chat GPT Plus. I think it's 4.0, whatever, something like that.
And then they got Chat GPT Pro.
Yeah. But I've been maxing out the $20 one. I can't go above that, but I do use it often. It's worth it. There's a subscription on that. And then what he was speaking of was the Notebook LM, which is part of Google, and it's free. Most of these things, what I've noticed now, most of all the ones that I've been using, they're in beta mode. So they're still testing and working out the kinks. Now, once they actually go live and it's fully, it's on go, then they'll probably turn to paid subscription. So I say while they're free, try to go ahead and get as much out of them as you want. So those were the 3 that we were mostly talking about that we're using. So I keep a few logins. Nope, spell Replit. 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 Yes. Yeah. Check it out. We can check it out. Okay. They're not talking to me. I guess they may.
I guess we ain't, the topic really wasn't that good tonight.
The topic was good. We're throwing them off because last week we started early. The week before that we were earlier than normal, and then today we went later. So with the day side, but that was on me. That was my fault. I've gone back to work and I'm working out my schedule, which I'm doing good. I'm trying to get out of there, but you're welcome. Let me know how that works out for you. Report back next week. But then I think it's also a busy weekend. Everybody's trying to get ready.
Yeah. We'll roll with that. So I'm okay. Since you saying that, then okay.
Yeah.
We make some plans, some decisions on going forward with tomorrow. Then so.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I guess we've been rolling pretty hard. You guys have a full of information. Thanks to everyone that joined us this evening. Thanks to Adria for making this work smoothly for us. Thank you, TikTok, for sticking around. I know you can't see the screen.
Oh, you're on TikTok?
Yeah, I figured that. Well, I knew you could go on your iPad, and I ordered this little thing right here, the whole.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that's so fancy.
Yeah. I need a new iPad.
You got the whole new thing?
Oh, I need an iPad. This thing cost $9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you see it.
Yeah. I know that I could have brought you one.
Oh, y'all sell these?
No, I just have tons of them with the logo on it that we just give away as prizes.
Yeah,
I didn't know you would need one.
I'm always need some stuff. You know, hey, some gadgets. Hey, you want to make me smile? Do some gadgets or some talk about some some money. So anyway, we appreciate everyone that joined us this evening. I don't know what else to say at this point. I'm a little sluggish today.
Well, for the mothers in the chat, like mothers,
beyond
mothers, aunties, cousins, sisters,
all of them.
All of that. Wishing you a happy Mother's Day. Enjoy it. If you don't get flowers, you deserve flowers, and we're gonna give you flowers today. So just really appreciate you. You're making a difference in somebody's life. So thank you for being here with us tonight.
We appreciate you guys.
We are in Central.
Yeah, Central Time. Same bat channel.
Same bad place.
No.
Bat time. Oh, okay. You're doing the Adams West Batman. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the best one.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Really terrible, but yeah.
It was good for what it was.
Robin.
Yes, thank you. It was good for
anyway,
us.
Joker. Romero, what the man named? The Joker was Romero something. What's his name? Something. I was scared of it, really.
The Joker?
Yeah.
I like Two-Face. But you know what I really like?
They were never on that one.
No. I'm just going to tell you. Let me finish.
They only really did the Penguin. They did the Riddler.
The Riddler was always on
it. They did the Joker. They did Catwoman.
And
that was it.
Listen to me. Two-Face isn't on there. He's in there in the newer Batmans.
I know. I'm trying to think. Am I missing somebody?
No, but I'm trying to tell you what came on after Batman was Dick Tracy. I love Dick Tracy, and Two-Face and Rubberhead and was in Dick Tracy, because Rubberhead would always say, "I'm gonna rub you out. I'm gonna rub you." You didn't watch Dick Tracy? It came on right after Batman. For me on TV Land. Yeah, I love Dick Tracy.
That means you had cable.
And after Dick Tracy came on Green Lantern. Like
these are TV, you talking about TV Land?
Nick at Night.
No, we ain't have no cable, man.
There's also a difference between you and me.
We ain't that different.
It would be a difference between me watching Nick at Night.
It would be a difference.
Alfred,
I ain't have
Batman, Dick Tracy, Green Lantern, Alfred Hitchcock, then Twilight Zone. That's what came on. That's what I watched every night. Oh, that was my joint. That's why I'm so old. So you say something old, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Joker, Cesar Romero. Cesar Romero.
Okay. Yeah.
Ricky said you showing your age.
Oh, ain't no question about that. Yeah, Cesar Romero. I think them the only villains they had on there.
On that.
Yeah.
They had Ivy. They had Poison Ivy. Because I remember the episode. It was the Riddler, and Poison Ivy had put him because she put him like on a little charm. I know that one. She was on there. Villains on Adams West Batman. This is when we slip into the foolishness.
They ain't do Luthor. Well, that was Superman more.
That's Superman.
That was more Superman. I used to like them.
Really?
The ones around the same time, them Superman.
Yeah, the fake just.
That was terrible.
That's somebody holding the cape up and fanning it. Yeah, okay. You know this thing don't let me. Batman villains. It ain't gonna let me do it. Okay, well I tried. That's one of them things you should have asked. And yes, Perry Mason, Alfred Hitchcock was your thing. Yes, and Perry Mason. They don't even know about that.
I never did like Perry.
You didn't like Perry Mason? Oh wow.
I didn't never get into those.
Okay.
Even though I like a lot of.
Yes, Walt Ross. That's what I mean. Green Hornet, not Green Lantern. Green Hornet. That's what I meant.
Well, they made an appearance on there.
No, I'm talking about the show that came after.
I know. Yeah, Green Hornet. They actually made an appearance on Batman though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a spinoff of
But it was the show that came after because Green Hornet had the Asian butler. Yeah, he did.
Where's the Green Hornet was at? The green, or was it the Brown Hornet?
There was a brown hornet.
Yeah, on Fat Albert.
Oh my gosh,
The
that
Brown Hornet.
That's crazy.
That put an emphasis on the T.
Just
The Brown Hornet.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Anyway, guys.
Here we go.
Happy Mother's Day to all y'all out there. Thanks, and we will see you on the FLIP. SIP.
Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Hit that bag.